Waking up sucks. And if you're anything like me, the snooze button on your phone gets far too much attention. I have battled against my alarm my entire life, and I want that to change. I want an optimal morning routine. A majority of my job is working from home, and I'm sure those of you who do work from home can relate to this type of morning. You set your alarm optimistically early, way earlier than you're actually going to wake up, and then you snooze it 100 times and end up crawling out of bed 5 minutes before you're supposed to start working. Then you grab a bowl of breakfast and just kind of start working half asleep. The distinction between waking up and working just isn't there. It kind of molds into one. And that kind of start to the morning kind of sets your tone for the whole day. You end up being not as productive as you know that you can be. You're not living up to your potential. I'm going to go to war with this bad routine. I want to form a habit, and I want to make the absolute most out of every day rather than just having countless days where I feel like I haven't given it my all. So here is the plan. I'm going to set my alarm between 6 and 6:30 a.m. every morning and put it somewhere where I have to physically get out of bed to stop it. Then I'm going to have a glass of water, which will help kickstart my metabolism and helps me wake up a bit easier. Then, as some Andrew Huberman inspired wisdom, I'm going to beeline it for some sunlight, which will set my circadian rhythm and help me fall asleep a bit easier at night. Followed by this is some light cardio, which can be walking, running, or cycling. Then it's time to hit the bathroom for the regular routine, showering, shaving, which I don't have to do a lot of, and brushing my teeth. After this, I cook a nutritious meal and then make my coffee, which I try and delay till about 90 minutes after I wake up so that I can reduce the afternoon crash. And that is ideally how the morning goes, but in reality, usually looks a bit more like this. Properly measuring success in this challenge is a bit of a tough one. I'm going to measure how well the habits stick, how productive I feel during the day, and my overall happiness as well. So generally the results are going to be mostly subjective. Anyway, let's get into it. The first few mornings were so hard to get through.
It's the first day of this morning routine thing. The bed was so comfy, but I've done the hardest part, which is getting out of bed. So first win in the bag.
Yesterday and today have been tough. I think I just need to up my sleep. Both mornings waking up, you just get that little voice in your head that just says, oh, you can stay asleep, you can do this another time, you need sleep, it's better for your day, and it's just so strong.
It is day 5. The last 3 days have been a real struggle to get out of bed. It's only the first few minutes that are hard. The temptation to just get back under those covers is so strong.
The only thing getting me through, the light at the end of the tunnel, was coffee time. I was just feeling way too tired in these mornings, and I needed to adjust. Rather than this strict wake-up time, I needed to adjust to what time I was getting to sleep the night before. Since I had commitments at nighttime that I just couldn't avoid, I just needed to adapt to my routine. After adapting this way, things did start to get better.
It's the last morning of the challenge and feeling good this morning. Feeling pretty awake. Definitely a lot better than in the early days. In day 1 and day 2.
And after what felt like no time at all, the challenge was over. Towards the end of the challenge, I did start to notice quite a big difference. It was much easier and required less effort to get into flow states where I could just work without having to think about it. But I do think the most important aspect of a productive day is actually what happens the night before, the sleep. I'm actually going to plan to do an entire separate video on trying to optimize my sleep. Anyway, this routine is definitely something I think everyone should try. I think it's less about setting restrictive barriers on what you have to do in the morning and more just about getting the essentials in. That's sunlight straight away, some light cardio if you can, and just delaying your coffee intake. I think just with these little changes, you don't even have to wake up that much earlier than you usually do, and the benefits are just huge. Now, 2-week time frame for this challenge, I don't think was enough. I do feel my brain reminding myself of the things I have to do, but it's definitely not enough time to build a habit. But to finish this one off, I think the main thing about this routine is starting the day with a victory. When you start with a win, the rest of the day becomes a win. Anyway, that's all for this one. Cheers.